Hey everyone, Base DS here, and welcome back to more Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. Last time, we journeyed on through Lost Labyrinth Zone and got our hands on the final Chaos Emerald. But now it's time to go ahead and move on to the final full zone of the game, so let's dive right on in. But now, it's time to storm Mad Gear Zone. And right off the bat, it looks pretty similar to Metropolis Zone. But the similarities don't end there. So for the Badniks, we still have bubbles just like usual, the blue and the red variety. But unfortunately, we also have the unholy trinity of Badniks returning as well. So that means we've got Shellcrackers, Asterons, and Slicers. So that just makes things a little bit more interesting of how things are going to play out here. But really, as long as we can go super as quick as we can, they aren't going to be a threat. But we just have to make sure the steam vents don't end up tossing us into any spikes either, so gotta be wary of those. Same thing with some of the crushers that we'll be seeing later on in the acts as well. Alright. We'll just go ahead and take the high path here. Oh, no you don't. Get away from me, you. Heh. And just like always, Slicers are useless without their sickles once they toss them off. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and make my way over here. Didn't mean to do that, but okay. Ah, well. Alright, bottom path it is. Yeah, let's go ahead and transform. This is pretty much the halfway point for the act anyway. Alright. We should be getting close to the end of the act by now. Just have to avoid a few more of these piston crushers and we'll be okay. Okay, I meant to grab those rings, but alright. You also want to make sure not to get crushed by spikes whenever those piston crushers are placed like that, because you never know. There could be a set of spikes waiting to kill you right on top of the ceiling. And we are already at the end of the act, so we are pretty much done with Act 1 now. But hey, we're only 1/3 of the way done. We still got 2 more acts to storm on through. And I'll say this right now, the 3rd act is going to be the most dangerous. But hey, we still got to make our way through Act 2 before we get to that, so no need to sweat about it right now. So, Act 2's main gimmick is going to be the numerous cogs that are littering the place. And in some areas, they'll actually trigger doors to open. So, let's see here. Ooh, I will gladly take that shield. And I don't think it's possible to get crushed by the gears either, so at least that's good. Okay, nope. I want to get up to here. Take that, Slicer. And of course we have the wall springs present here as well. Whoa, no, I didn't mean to do that. Alright. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and ride this gear on over to the right. And we'll use the wall springs to our advantage to get higher up in this area. I'll take that invincibility though. And go ahead and take out these slicers because why not? We will make them suffer. Oh, nope. Get back on that spring. There we go. Alright, come on. Okay, we're back on track. And you know what? We're at the halfway point, so let's go ahead and transform. So we'll move this gear on over to the right, and in turn, that'll go ahead and open a door for us. And one thing to note about transforming into supersonic, when you do, if there are any invincibility boxes left in the act, they will automatically be converted into extra life boxes, so pretty useful. Yeah, I'm probably taking the long way around, but... So yeah, you have to hit that switch in order to move on down here, but I will say it is possible to pass under those quick-moving crushers. I've done it before. Granted, it was very risky, but it is possible. You just have to time it right. And we'll just break on through the paneling there. And I say, hello, shortcut. Okay, I got some big air from that. Get them out of the way. Okay, gotta be real careful here. So let's go ahead and move this gear on up. And we'll get rid of the slicers along the way. But I will go ahead and take that extra life though. And Act 2 is out of the way. But now, the real fun begins. Time to move on to Act 3. This is not going to be fun. Your reflexes have to be quick. So, back in Act 3 of Lost Labyrinth Zone, we had that small section where we were chased by a giant stone wall. Luckily, it wasn't any issue to outrun, but unfortunately for us here in Act 3 of Mad Gear Zone, we're being chased by a giant drill constantly throughout the entirety of the act. So yeah, we have to be quick and not slow whatsoever, because on top of that, not only do we need to outrun the drill, we also need to make it through the numerous crushers that are essentially acting as gates. If one ends up closing before we get to it, then all that awaits us is death's embrace. So you really want to be at the top of your game here, otherwise you're gonna regret it. But luckily we are already through the first drill section. And we're getting ready to start up on the second here in a few. And here we are. I will say though, I do love the nice touch they got going on with all the sirens as they continuously blare throughout the entirety of the act. It really adds more to that sense of urgency, and it just goes to show you that you're making it to the heart of Eggman's base, and this is his last line of defense, and he wants you dead at this point. So it's a nice little touch that I can appreciate. Had to wait for the steam vent to stop so I can jump on the gear. And wait for it. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. We should be getting close to the end of the act now. We just got one more drill section to make it through. Alright, come on. Okay, here we go. So, let's go ahead and transform, and let's get going. Go ahead and get these bubbles out of the way. And so far, so good. Just gotta be quick. Keep that drill away from me. I hate that thing. Alright, good. We are done with Act 3. We got that out of the way. Wasn't much of an issue. There were a few moments there, but nothing we couldn't handle. Now it's time for the boss. So since Mad Gear Zone was essentially based on Metropolis Zone, it's pretty safe to say we all know how this boss is going to play out here. So let's just go ahead and grab our rings and make our way over here. It's time to take on the Egg Cloner. But it's not an exact recreation of the original fight back in Sonic 2. It does do things a bit differently here. Mainly with the clones. You do not want to touch them whatsoever, because if you do, you're getting hit badly. So your best bet is just to let them bounce around for a while and just let themselves blow up. That's your best bet. But it's time to get ready for Phase 2, and at this point, Eggman's calling for a full-on retreat. But we're not going to give him that satisfaction, so it's time to give chase. And at this point, Phase 2 is essentially a callback to the Egg Jet fight from back in Mushroom Hill Zone. But here in Phase 2, Eggman does have two new attacks. He will toss out a blue clone that likes to bounce around a bit more than the regular clones, and as you saw there, he'll toss out these giant clones that can be pretty hard to avoid since they take up a majority of the screen. But let's just go ahead and make our way over here. And let's destroy that final prison capsule. And with that, that'll go ahead and bring things here in Mad Gear Zone to a close. So, it's time to get ready for the final zone. Granted, though, it's really not going to be all that hard, but still, you never know, especially when we get to the actual final boss. And that is a lot of points. I'm surprised I even beat it that fast. Hey, it's fine with me, though. But first things first. Hello, Little Tails cameo. And with that, the final zone is now appearing overhead. We can now go to Egg Station Zone. But that'll be next time, so until then, thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying things so far, and I'll see you all again later.